Hello everybody and welcome to another Transformers third party review. Thanks to the guys over at Ages 3 and Up. Today I'm taking a look at the latest offering from Xtransbots. As part of their Master mini-series, this is 84mm V1 Warrior Boost, aka Masterpiece Windcharger. Just bringing in their 86mm V11 Scout Hatch, aka Masterpiece Tailgate. You can see they've actually got a joint box art. I love that idea. Not that many people do it anymore. I think Toy World are doing it with some of their combiners as well, and I think it's nice. It's encouraging us to keep our boxes. Now, speaking of boxes, I know this guy is a mini-bot, but I was absolutely shocked at how small the box is. I mean, that is pretty darn small. On the back of the box we have a schematic, a small bio. We also have this kind of stencil art drawing, which again is mirrored on the back of Hatch's box. Now, out of the box he comes in a plastic clamshell with a baggie of accessories, and the only downside I've found to him coming in such a small box is that there's not a lot of room for the instructions, so I have got a little bit of curvature on the side of the instruction manual. Nothing big, well, apart from the instructions, they're absolutely massive. And here he is in his vehicle mode. Oh, he's lovely. They have managed to make his alt mode look incredible. Super high gloss paint finish there. Very even throughout. Slightly different shading above where the windows are there. I'm assuming they've painted like a black piece there. But the windows themselves are actually see-through. I think you can kind of just see through them, but really, really blacked out. Very overall professional finish. It looks incredible. Really, really nice. Nice bit of heft to it as well. I know a lot of you really dislike Ollie. I was actually a big fan of Ollie. I really liked the figure and it looked spot on. It really did. It ticked so many boxes with appearance. This is obviously kind of their second minifigure after they gave us Ollie, and he is leaps and bounds ahead of him. It just feels very professional in comparison. They really have come on so far. If you own the Andreas, it's made of a very, very similar plastic to that, only wee little tiny condensing. I mean, this guy is tiny, but the levels of detailing are very impressive. Vehicle mode for scale, we bring him alongside some of the other mini-bots from the likes of Bad Cube, for example, and he scales remarkably well. They look great together. But you bring in some of the Takara cars, and maybe he's too small, or maybe they're too big. I don't know. I mean, to be honest with you, alongside some of the Takara humans, I think he looks bloody spot on. He does, of course, fit into Optimus Prime's gaping hole in his trailer. It's like waving a stick down an alley. Taking a look at the underside of his alt mode, you can see that's going to form his chest. His hands are there, his legs are there. His head is hidden by this front section. But I can forgive that because it compacts so nicely into the vehicle mode. Even done the rims. They really have gone all in for attention to detail. Now, both his magnet attachment and his gun do fit underneath, but the gun is a little bit wibbly wobbly under there. Doesn't quite stay down in place. You have to push this red tab all the way down to secure it firmly. Right, to get him changed up into his robot mode, first of all you want to just hold on to these doors and pull this back section up slightly. That's going to release these rear sections. They're just tabbed in to the top of the roof. Now that they're untabbed, you can come around to this back section and you want to just untab that. That's tabbed in here, here, here and here. Make sure that this tab has come away from the window because this is your door and you need to free that up. Just pull that one away. It's just slid in there, so you need to pull it back and behind. come round and we want to start rotating these wheels to form the arms. I found the easiest way of doing this is to lift the chest section up slightly to get it out of the way, and then you can roll the wheels around, and as you roll the wheels around, that brings forward these side panels for the chest. Come round to the hands. You want to open up the fingers. You want to rotate the hand so that the thumb clears this section here. You then want to rotate the hand over, bring it round into this gap this side, start to rotate the thumb back round so the thumb and the hand is now completely clear of this gap. You can then start to close up, and as you close up this gap you can then bring the hand back round to the front like so. This section tabs together and we can close off the fists, and then we have an extremely neat and tidy fist. Make sure this chest section is brought down and out of the way, just so we've got a lot of room to play here. You want to bring down the face plate section, which is just tabbed in underneath, revealing the amazingly accurate head sculpt. Come to this front section here. You want to just move the front of the car section up just slightly, just to untab it from the front. So it's tabbed in here and it's tabbed in here. Now when you get to this point, don't pull any more force on here. Use this square section and you want to bend it up using this square section. Otherwise we're going to end up snapping these tabs. Now that it's facing backwards, come round to the back, just untab the windshield section like so. So that's now untabbed. You can just move that up. You need to push these side windows inwards. That now allows us to move this back section here. Now that the back section is up, you can then pop the windows back out, and this section can now slide up and under the backpack section there. The backpack can now lift up, and it's going to go all the way up, and these are going to tab in to that section like so. These side sections here also just tab in to the underarm sections. Come down to the feet. You want to just split the legs. Again, they are tabbed in very, very securely using these two tabs. Very firm connection. And flip down the plates on both feet. Come around to the side of the leg, and this red section here is tabbed in here. You basically need to pull this section down just to untab it, and it's just this fat peg here pegs into the white section. Make sure that is open. There's a slider peg on the inside there. Grab this foot section and that's going to slide across like so. Rotate this red back section out to there. Now the feet won't go any farther forward because you've got this screw here hitting against the inside section of the leg, but that's why they've put a double hinge in there. So you lift the double hinge up and that then brings the screw to the inside of the white section. You can now move the front and the back section around, so the foot comes round to this section and the heel section now looks like this. From here you want to just move this section out of the way so we can bring in that wheel section here. That's going to fold in behind the leg. This section here comes down and to the side like so. This can now be brought back in and push it back in on its sliding joint so it's now central. Come round to the front and bring down that toe, and then just bring forward and adjust the knees, and now the legs are going to be rotated like that. Let's come up to the chest, make sure the leg flaps are down. Tilt the torso forward slightly so these blue sections line up. There are actually holes in the wheels, so you can rotate those forward until the holes are present. And there's actually holes in the back of the chest. There's just these tabs here. That's now going to fold up on itself. The hole here is going to slot into the top half of the chest, And everything is going to just line up and tab in, securing everything into place. And there we have him all transformed up into his robot mode, and he looks ruddy terrific. He does. That's a very, very good representation of his animation counterpart. He's a lot stockier and a lot bigger than I thought he was going to be. And when I got him in his alt mode, I thought, he's going to be absolutely tiny. But I am pleasantly surprised. I love how his shoulders can raise right up, giving that hench kind of look. The feet were probably a little bit more complex than they needed to be, but it definitely works. And it's given him some really nice, big, sturdy feet. That head sculpt is amazing. Fantastic. Very, very slim backpack section there. Very minimal on the kibble front. What gloriously bold colours. Both his gun and his magnet fit in his hands extremely firmly, and he really can strike some cracking poses. There's some hidden die cast in the base of the feet here, and it really does add to his heft and helps with that stability. Robot scale-wise, that to me is a very, very good scale. Aesthetically, he really does look the part. He is a true mini masterpiece. Such high attention to detail. He looks very, very close to his animation counterpart, and that really impresses me because his alt mode was sublime. But don't get me wrong, he's not perfect. I'm not keen on the visible pins on the arms there. And the screws, I wouldn't like maybe red screws, and it's just a single pin through the hinge on the elbow as well. It's nothing that's going to come loose over time. It all feels very tight and robust, but in this day and age we're getting a lot of swivel and ratchets. I think it was a sacrifice they had to take just due to how small this guy is. Now, as far as articulation goes, the head does look up and look down, and we can get a full 360-degree turn. There is an option to replace the face with the G1 faceplate. That's just a matter of unscrewing the screw at the back of the head and sliding out this front section here. The arms are on ball joints. They go all the way around. We can pivot them up and down, as well as forwards and backwards. We do get an upper bicep rotation. We do get that bend at the elbow and a rotation at the wrist. The fingers are on a single pin and can open and close. The thumb is of course static. We do still get a nice waist rotation, although it does look a little bit unnatural from the side. It's still effective nonetheless. We don't get a great deal of motion on the ab crunch due to this section here. It does kind of just play on the chest transformation, but it's a little bit of an ab crunch. The legs can go forwards all the way and backwards most of the way, only hindered slightly by this side skirt. The legs can come out and they lift the side skirts with them. There is an upper thigh rotation. We get a nice deep bend at the knee, and of course the ankles, they pivot forwards and back, up and down, so we can get some really well balanced stances. So there we have it, guys. This is Boost. He may be a little bot, but he definitely packs a big punch, and I am genuinely impressed. Xtransbots seem to really have got their act together of late and are dishing out some pretty darn decent Masterpiece stand-ins. He's a very welcome addition to my mini-bot collection, and he is going to look absolutely awesome alongside his brother-in-arms, Hatch. Thanks again to the guys over at Ages 3 and Up for getting this out to me, and until next time, from myself and Windcharger, thanks for watching, goodbye.